anniversary this April. April 12 to 14. April 14 birthday ko, so please
Happy
support.
birthday!
Please support our festival. Idea First, I mean, for those of you who probably remember, yung Buakaw, yung Barber's Tales were under our banner, October Train. So those two films actually predated pa Idea First. So technically, 112 taon na. But it was Idea First na nagkaroon ng home and officially naging kumpanya kami. Since 10 years ago, yung pelikula lang ang nakita nyo dito, but we also have done a lot of other projects. I was telling some of our friends kanina that we've done game shows, we've done commercials, we've done even some press events for programs na hindi naman kami ang nag-produce. So marami kami, labalinis luto nga. So we decided to now officially brand them all under another brand. At ngayon, may dalawa na kaming other brands na papakilala. So, the Idea First company is still our narrative brand. And then we are also now launching Imagine If Entertainment. It's now going to be our brand for the non-narratives. And right now, the first project, thank you, mataga Imagine If, ay Barangay 5 Panalo, which is a game show that we're currently producing for TV5 starring si Gerald Napoles at saka si Kyla Rivera. So, Barangay 5 Panalo is the first project. Next slide, please. Yan. At tapos, Idea First Live is also our other brand because we're going into live entertainment as well. Medyo may simula na kaming mga nagawa dyan. Pero, under the radar pa ng Idea First. So, balikan ko lang, Imagine If Entertainment, the first project is Barangay 5 Panalo. Ayan, sorry, mali ang queuing ko. And then for Idea First Live, our first project is the film adaptation of Anino sa Likod ng the stage adaptation of Anino sa Likod ng Buwan. This is actually a fitting first project for us sa theater because it started out as ang term namin, an award-winning play that became an award-winning film. Is now going back to theater. So we'll be casting for Anino sa Likod ng Buwan very soon. Medyo challenging yan kasi yung material niyan for those who have seen the film. Medyo challenging dramatically. So that's Idea First Live. Pero back to Idea First. So as I said, we've produced 35 films, most of which you've seen kanina. And so we decided to celebrate our 10th anniversary with a film festival, the Enlighten Idea First Film Festival. I wish na kaya namin palabas all 35, pero for various reasons, some of them rights issues, some of them availability ng material, and also time. We zeroed in on a few projects now. So these are the titles that will be played. We'll flash the schedule later, pero Die Beautiful, Dementia, our first film, Game Boys, Mahal Kita Bexman, Manananggal sa Unit 23B. So these titles, we will play, pero may Q&A for most of them with the filmmakers. And like in the case of Dementia, it's been talaga 10 years since it's last been screened. Hindi pa siya available sa streaming platforms. Anino sa Likod ng Buwan also is not available on streaming platforms. So medyo excited kami ourselves to see it on the big screen. And then in Game Boys, magkikita-kita kami hopefully ng lahat ng cast. Sana lahat ng cast. Pero naayos na. So medyo may semi-reunion. And tinatanong nga ng fans ko, may announcement daw. May nagtanong na rin kanina ng announcement.
Meron.
Ayan na. But apart from the screenings, we will also have a series of talks. Kasi para Idea First is about creativity and filmmaking. So there will be napilitan siya, 2-day na workshop ni Jun Robles Lana, Writers Workshop. April 13 and April 14. Yes, Writers Masterclass. Yan, magsasalita si Direk Jun for 2 hours ng siya lang. In the spotlight, nandito kasi siya sa gilid. Okay, and then we will have a Writers Roundtable and the Directors Roundtable following each of the master classes. So Writers Roundtable, our national artist, Ricky Lee, has said yes already. Direk Joey Reyes is also joining, Roddy Vera, of course, si Jun Robinzana, Cherry Gracio, Miss Mel Mendoza del Rosario, Moira Lang and Jen Chun-Su. Sa Directors Roundtable, Direk Eric Mati has said yes, Direk Joel Lamangan has said yes, May Cruz Alviar has said yes, of course Direk June, si Pepe has also said yes, Zig Dulay, Sigrid Bernardo, and newbie director Percy Taran. So we're actually excited about this because natuwa kami na isang tanong lang namin, go na kagad sila. And it's an exciting lineup, lalo na dito sa Directors Roundtable magkakasama yung mga mga ibang MMFF. Diba? So this is our lineup for the festival. This is the schedule. So April 13 and April 14, Gateway Cinemas has generously allowed us to use Cinema 17 and Cinema 18. So simultaneous yung screenings. This schedule is available sa ideafirstcompany.com na site. So we start from noon to evening basically. And there's a Q&A for most of the films except pag may natatapat siya na hindi available yung filmmaker. Now, I'll zero in on the other reason why we are all here. Our opening film is Your Mother's Son. Now, ang Your Mother's Son, this is the film that we premiered last year in Toronto. So, this is the first time it's going to be playing here. It's the opening film on April 12, and it's on Cinema 11, the bigger cinema across the hall. So Your Mother's Son premiered, world premiere was in Toronto. The European premiere was at the Tallinn Black Nights Film Festival, and the Asian premiere was at the Taipei Golden Horse Film Festival. So ito yung film namin na actually naikot niya na yung key areas. Ngayon lang siya babalik sa Pilipinas at first time siya papalabas. Today, actually. So we'll show you a trailer of the film, and then we'll proceed with the feature film. Roll VTR.
Yay!
Mr. Mickey Jimenez.
Tite.
Miss Sue Prado. Mr. Kokoy De Santos. And of course our director, Direk June Robles Lara. This is your mayor. Mayor Katindi.
Mayor Katindi.
Ikaw pala yun.
So first, please greet our friends from the media.
Hello po, magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Maraming salamat sa pagdalo ngayong hapon at kasama namin kayong lahat. At sana po ay nagustuhan nyo ang aming proyektong itong para sa inyo. Yun.
Hello, good evening po to everyone. So alam niyo na mas malaki yung burat ni Coco. Ay, iwan. Pero yun, salamat po sa lahat na pumunta. Sobrang na-appreciate namin kaya na hope na you liked it. Kahit pa paano, you know, with all your criticisms and kanya-kanya naman yan. So, I hope you liked it, guys.
Huwag kang mag-alala, masarap ka naman kumain. Yun, maraming salamat na nandito kayo. And, ayun, sana, bukod sa nag-enjoy kayo, talagang ako kanina nag-enjoy but at the same time parang nayanig yung daigdig ko. Kasi first time ko din tong mapanood. So, yun, sana ay pakalat ninyo na nakakayanig talaga itong pelikulang ito.
Exactly. Magandang gabi at maraming salamat po sa inyong pagpunta for spending the time with us para panoorin tong cut na to. And ayun nga, nakakatuwa kasi naririnig namin kayong tumawa. Pero sana more than that, may naiwan o may tanong, one or two, di ba, na naibigay yung pelikula. Maraming salamat.
Hello. Sana napasaya namin. Ay, Becken ba din pala yun? Again. Maraming salamat always sa pagpunta ninyo, sa suporta po ninyo sa mga pelikulang ginagawa namin. This is going to be the opening film of the Idea First Film Festival in Leiden. So, maraming salamat.
Alright. Diretso na tayo sa Q&A.
Eman Kokoy Duterte. Sinadya ba na Sara ang pangalan niya, no?
Hindi. Ano ba? Wala kasi si Elmer dito eh. Yung isa sa may kagagawan dito, yung co-writer ko. Pinasa. Ayaw ang kinin. Hindi. You know, one way to look at it, standalone ng pelikulang to. I mean, it should be able to stand on its own merits. Pero, yung ginagawa ko yung Big Night, pinag-uusapan na namin to ni Elmer because Big Night is a comedy.
Yes.
It's about
drugs.
The war on drugs. And in the end, yung character doon decided to be part of the system. And people were asking, bakit walang lumaban? That was what's happening in Manila. Dito, this is a different take. But if yung siguro yung trivia na pwede kong i-share sa inyo, yung naririnig sa radyo habang nag-uusap yung mag-ina, it is the same radio announcement that can be heard in the opening of Big Night. So this is happening at the same time. So, there are things that's happening and there are things that are being decided by certain characters how to deal with what's happening. At yun yung magkaibang pangyayari sa dalawang magkaibang character sa mundo natin.
At na-ex siya ng MTRCB. Anong ginawa niyo para maging R18 siya?
Nagtimpi ako. Wala na akong gustong gawin. Pinagsabihin ako ng mga producers ko, tumahimik ka. Baka lalo hindi tayo maipalabas. But at the end of the day, meron naman akong binigay naman na sa akin yung director's cut. There's still a director's cut. And I look at it as another version of the film that I made, another version of the vision that I had in the beginning. I don't think that I compromise anything. It's just that it's a different way of telling a story. But if you are interested to find out kung ano yung original vision namin, then there's a director's cut. But I'm still very proud of this version.
So hindi ito yung inilabas sa International Film Fest?
Diyos ko, talagang hindi. Hindi talaga, hindi.
So, paano?
Mapapanood kaya rin namin eventually yung ano?
Oo naman, oo. Pagkatapos ito, may isa pang screening.
Kainit.
Pero isa pa, oo. So, stay lang kayo. Pero, there are things that we need to do eh.
Yes.
Tanggap ko yun bilang filmmaker, tanggap ko yun also as a producer. Hindi ito yung may papalabas sa sinihan. I mean, what's the point of us making a movie like this if we want to start a conversation, gusto natin may pinag-uusapan tayo kung wala namang makakapanood. So, that's a start. And at least people know that there's a director's cut.
Okay, last question ko kay Suna lang muna. Anong pakiramdam mo nung i-offer ito sa'yo, yung mga kailangan gawin sa'yo? Kumbaga yung mga requirements para gawin mo yung mga dapat mong gawin sa pelikula?
Wala naman ako naging problema sa kahit ano. Kasi siguro having worked with June for a couple of years already and in a couple of projects, klaro kasi yung communication namin eh. And it's always been and it has always felt na collaboration. Never kong naramdaman na actor lang ako, director ko siya. It was always, nag-uumpisa siya talaga sa pag-tackle ng idea, ng concept. And then, yun yung masarap. Kasi nararamdaman mo talaga na you build it together. At saka yung pinagtitiwalaan ka na isama doon sa pag-mount ng buong proseso. Actually, hindi lang naman ako, kaming lahat. As in, faithfully, yung mga eksena, minount namin together. Yun. So, also, kasi nga dahil nga ilang beses na kami nagkatrabaho ni June in the past, and it was always successful, thankfully. I mean, in terms of collaboration and artistic processes, magkasundo talaga kami. Actually, yung tanong mo paano ko tinanggap, no? Actually, hindi. Mas siya, hindi nagkaroon ng tanong ni minsan. It was more of thank you, naisip mo na kaya kong gawin to. Yun yung immediate na pakiramdam, especially after having read the script for a couple of times. Na ito na yung inaaral ko na. Yun talaga, privilege and honored to have been thought of as someone who can deliver such a task. Kasi lalo na naiintindihan ko bakit na ginagawa, bakit nila ginawa, sinulat yun eh. And to be given the chance na maging parte nung yung bang resistance. Yun, yung pagpapahayag ng hindi pagpahayag sa nangyayari sa atin. Ano yun eh, thank you. Binigyan mo ako ng space for that. Diba?
But ito yung first time na nagbida ka talagang sa'yo umikot yung kwento? Or
Hindi naman.
Pero,
there were other projects in the past na there were a couple of films
ito yung talagang pag-uusapan ka yung tatatak talaga na parang malaan na Mary Gutierrez sa Scorpion Eyes.
That I cannot answer kasi may kanya-kanyang merits din naman yung pelikulang iba na ginawa ko in the past na binigyan din ako ng pagkakataon na yung task na yun as the lead actor. So, hindi ko siya masasagot. Pero, one thing's for sure, ikatutuwa ko talaga at ikalulugod ko kung pag-uusapan nila tong pamilya na to, yung pelikula na ito, lalo na ng bukod sa akin. Tingnan nila yung merito ng pelikula at saka yung makatulong ba, magtanong. At tama yung sinabi ni June eh. Kung hindi siya magiging accessible sa mga tao, paano makakapag-umpisa ng diskurso? Paano madidiscover na meron palang mga tao na may similar questions sa nangyayari sa atin ngayon? At meron din pala na hindi lang ikaw o ako ang hindi pumapayag. Marami pala tayo pero wala tayong space. At unfortunately, kung ano yung landscape ng society natin ngayon at ng politika, may paniniili para maihayag mo yung resistance mo. Hindi lang sa gobyerno, sa kabuuan ng lipunang Pilipino, di ba? So, ayun, kaya thank you.
Thank you.
Ginawa niya to at sinama niyo kami.
Si Lea naman daw.
Did you really make it intend it to be that intense, the story, when you were co-writing the script?
Yes. I wanted to make a horror film. Basically, horror film yung nasa isip ko, but grounded in reality. So, in terms of tone, yung pacing, yung music niya, in my mind when I was making it, even the lighting, parang ang naisip ko, horror tong ginagawa ko. It's a horror that we face every day. It's a horror that's happening to us.
To the point na naging ex siya.
Hindi ko naman...
Intention.
Kasi nung ginagawa po namin siya, pinag-uusapan namin na parang... And then, before namin siya i-submit for review, there was a foreign film that I saw on the big screen. Sabi ko, mas maraming pinakita daw kasi dito sa Your Mother's Son. So sabi ko, kung R16 yun,
Poor Things ba
yun, siguro naman kami, may chance. Kasi wala namang pinapakita talaga eh. It's all in your mind. Ang pinaka-daring na lang is that yung mother had a breast exposure. But, that was really natural between the mother and the son. They were inside the bedroom. It's not like they were doing it in public. There was nothing monstrous or irregular about it. It was a very private thing. So sabi ko, given that, siguro R18 tayo. So it was really a surprise nung na-ex sa akin. Pero siguro naman, at tanggapin ko naman talagang pag pinanood mo naman talaga siya, definitely, I think if kung medyo conservative, masya-shock talaga. But I wanted to do something that, you cannot take your eyes off it. Because parang my point was, at the height of the pandemic, when the killings were also happening around us, we were locked in our houses. Hindi natin wala tayong pwedeng puntahan, nangyayari yung, and I wanted that feeling. I really wanted po that feeling, and that was just my goal as a storyteller. That was my vision as a storyteller. Nothing else, just to tell the truth as I perceived it.
Thanks, Direk. Can I ask the cast?
Yes.
Yes, you had a hand in choosing them, all of them.
Yes, basically by the time, nung ginagawa na po namin ni Elmer Gatchalian, yung co-writer ko yung script, alam na namin kung sino.
Oh,
Sila na talaga yung nasa isip
yung
namin.
characters.
Wala nang pagdadalawang isip. They're also, they're family to us. Bago, there was a time na we were handling talents and they were all our talents, and we wanted them to shine because I know their capacity, I know their range, and I also wanted to work with my family kasi this is not an easy film to make. So, importante sa akin yung I also feel safe and they feel safe and we feel safe with each other.
That's why you kept it clean, the cast.
Yes po.
All right. Can I ask them now? Yeah. Didn't you have, when you were offered your respective roles, didn't you have second thoughts in portraying them on the big screen?
Never.
When the script was handed down to you?
Never. All the more that I got convinced I needed to do this character nung natapos ko yung script.
After you read the script?
Yes, and after having read it, nagkaroon pa kami ng meeting. So, na-enrich pa yung script. So, lalong na-punctuate sa akin, hindi pwedeng hindi ko to gawin. And thankfully, yun nga, nagawa namin, na-shoot namin. Kasi this was during the height of the pandemic. And shooting was really a struggle for everyone. Kasi wala naman template kung paano mag-shoot in a pandemic eh.
Well, not last year, Direk.
2
years.
2021, yeah? 2021. 22 ba? 21, yeah.
Oh, alright.
Yeah.
Yes, the height.
Yun po. So, yeah, it was quite a challenge in all levels, in all aspects. Pero yun nga, kaya yun, ang laking pasalamat din talaga na nabuo siya. In spite and despite of everything that was happening in the world.
Very brave.
At the time. Ayan, salamat po.
Can we hear from Elora?
For me, wala ding qualms of accepting it. Kasi kilala ko naman na yung mga, kilala ko na si Direk Jun and how he works. And gusto ko rin kasi yung story niya na it tackles something socio-political, something political. So, yun na, at the same time, parang it's my way in revolting against something. So, yun.
You really speak Bisaya?
Yes, I am Cebuana.
Right. Thanks.
Before ko pa answer, gusto ko lang i-acknowledge yung Idea First family. Kasi I super missed them. Sobrang na-miss ko kayong lahat. Honestly, sobrang. As in, lagi every project na ko, lagi ko kayo naiisip. Di kayo nawawala sa isip ko. And that's really galing sa heart ko yun. And
after you saw the script?
Well, siguro ito po yung masasabi ko na ito yung project na nagpatapang sa akin to really jump. To siguro lagpasan pa yung mga expectations ko. So to be like an actor, like how to accept na how to manage every project na pwede kong tanggapin. Siguro ito yung ako sigurado ako ito yung project na to na kumbaga awakening. Na nagsabi sa akin na, malayo pa pala yung pwede mong gawin, marami pa palang pwede. So you just have to really jump. And that's really what I'm really grateful for. And tagal ko rin inantay itong pelikulang to. And sorry, it's my first time watching it. Medyo overwhelmed pa po ako. Ang dami pa tumatakbo sa isip ko, ang dami pang tanong, yung nga pala ginawa namin yan. So please bear with me. Yes, so medyo marami pang dumadaan sa isip ko. Pero I'm truly grateful and I'm really thankful for this project.
Thank you. Yes, go on.
Ako po sobrang na-excite nung nalaman ko yung gagawin ko tong pelikula na to. Kasi yung unang nakatrabaho ko si Direk, at saka yung mismong Idea First company nung Die Beautiful. So ito yung first time talaga na full-length na pelikula. So ako wala akong pag-aalinlangan talaga nung nalaman ko yung balita, yung magiging karakter ko. Sabi ko, tiwala ako dito eh. kumbaga, pamilya nga talaga yung pakiramdam, lalo na mismo sa set. So ako, parang naglalaro lang din talaga sa set kasi, gibad. Ayun, sobrang ano lang talaga, nung time lang talaga nung ginagawa namin to para ako nasa alapaap, ganun. Kasi tuloy-tuloy lang. Hi, literal, hi. Ganun po yung pakiramdam. Yan.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for...
May tatanong na, si Miggy kailangan sagutin. Ano ang pinakamahirap na part ng pelikula? Ano ang pinakamahirap na part ng pelikula? Sige na, sabihin mo na.
Yung guitar po. Sobrang struggle. Kasi I was really honest with kila Direk June. Sabi ko, I'm not really musically inclined. So, sabi ko, Direk, I'm trying my best na aralin talaga. I'm really pressured. Sobrang dun, sa totoo lang, wala po akong pakialam maghubad. Mas may pressure na po ako na maggitara sa camera. Kaya, sana mukha naman pong totoo. Kasi, yun po yung pinaka... 2 years and a half kung gustong marinig yung palakpak na yun. Maraming salamat.
Any other questions?
Ito, pinasa na sa akin yung mic. Oo.
Of course.
Hindi, kasi parang first time mapanood nung tatlo ba? Parang kasi miso pa lang nakapanood eh, di ba?
Lolo ni Olora.
Oo, gusto ko munang... oo nga, nag-Taiwan nga pala siya. Yun, so gusto kong... Gusto kong malaman yung unang reaction nyo talaga when you first saw it. Ikaw, Koy, tas si Miguel at si Elora.
Ako, halo-halong emosyon eh. Kasi syempre, ang saya kasi kundi dahil sa pelikulang to, tsaka pagtitiwala sa akin, daw mapuntang Taiwan eh. First time ko maka-attend ng film festival. Hindi lang basta film festival, malaking film festival din talaga. First time ko rin sa Taiwan. First time ko mapapanood. First time ko mapanood, kasama pa yung ate ko kasi binitbit ko yung ate ko sa Taiwan. So kabado, sama-sama, may pa-Q&A pa doon. So ano ba to? Saan ba ako magpo-focus? Hindi ko alam eh. O si Miss Uge na nanood din talaga sa isang screening sa Taiwan pa mismo. So alam mo yun, halo-halo talaga yung pakiramdam. Pero kung tatanungin ako yung pakiramdam ko after ng film, happy ako, sobrang proud ako na maging parte nitong pelikula na to at pinagkatiwala sa akin ng Idea First. Habang buhay ko na dadalhin yun eh. Kasi nandyan na yan, ma-immortalize na yung pelikula na yan. Kung saan mapapanood, kahit yung director's cut, sana mapapanood, no? Kung saan man yung maipalabas sa pagdating ng panahon. At yun, iba pa rin yung feeling nung napanood ko tong cut na to kasi ang dami ko ring scenes na hindi napanood doon sa unang cut na wala doon sa napanood ko nung una.
Interest, oo. Pero kung sa reception sa Taiwan, Koy, ng mga foreigners?
Actually, happy sila. Tsaka tumatawa din sila dun sa mga ibang eksena. And after nung film, para akong artista rin talaga naman doon sa pictures. Oo, na-feel ko naman. Ganun pala yung feeling. Ganun. Natuwa sila. Parang nagalingan naman sila sa pagkakagawa. Wow. Sobrang na-proud ako. Sa totoo lang.
Wow, congrats. Si Miggy, ano yung initial reaction mo kanina nung mapanood mo na siya?
Lagi naman po akong overwhelmed eh. And kahit sang anggulo or ako naman ginagawa ko.
Tsaka dagdag ko lang din, sobrang na-proud ako sa'yo nung first time mapanood yung guitar scene sa Taiwan. Parang...
Ba't hirap na hirap pa siya doon nung sinushoot? Naitawid naman eh, oo.
Sobrang kabado and excited at the same time. Di rin ako makatulog kagabi. Na ito na, meron muna kaming screening na mapanood bukod sa opening film sa April 12. Overwhelmed na po talaga ako. Sobrang, diba? Out of words ako. Ayun, siguro mas more of recall po siguro na, yun nga po, may mga, ayun pala yung ginawa namin. Kasi basically, some of the parts of it, I don't really remember na. Kasi nga, it's 2021 pa. But I'm excited to watch it again. Siguro pag napanood ko ulit, doon ako makakapag-reflect ng mas maayos ko siguro. But I'm really happy. Yeah, for sure. That's for sure.
Ikaw, Miss Elora.
Ayan, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, nayanig ako. But not in a bad way. Actually, nayanig ako in a very good way. Para akong nagising ulit. Parang nakakagising siya eh. Kung ano mang gising yon. Pero, I'm very proud. I'm very proud of it. And at the same time, katulad ni Miggy, marami na nga din akong nakalimutan na, ay, ginawa pala namin yun. Ginawa ko pala yun, mga ganon. So, nakakaaliw siyang makita na yun pala yung mga pinagagawa namin. Kasi sobrang nag-enjoy kami during the shoot. Sobrang gaan ng mga kasama namin, sobrang gaan ng isa. Kahit na ganon kabigat ng pelikula, ang saya ng lahat. So, 'di ba? So, ganyan pala siya kabigat. Oh my God. So, yun.
Where was that? Location.
Buso-buso lang. Buso-buso lang.
Antipolo. Antipolo.
Ikaw, Miss Sue, sa Toronto mo ba first time na panood?
Yes.
What was your reaction? At kamusta rin yung reception doon?
Maganda. Okay naman yung reaction. Both ano siya walang gitna na reaction. Dulo-dulo. No? Which actually we talked about it ni June at saka ni Elmer na hindi siya surprising. Which sa akin naman, na-appreciate ko na ganun kasi ibig sabihin, tumatawid siya ng mga kultura. Diba? Kumbaga nahahamig, nahahagip yung sensibility ng kung anong sitwasyon ng mga Pilipino. Diba? So, anyways, reaction, yung totoo, the first time ko napanood sa Toronto, buti kasama ko si June. Kasi may pagmamanhid talaga eh. Oo, kasi ewan ko kung nangyari sa inyo o nangyayari ito sa inyo. May ginawa sa memory ko yung lockdown eh. Alam mo yung parang may mga hindi totoong nangyari. So 2021 namin to shoot, diba? Napanood ko 2023. As in, parang may mga nabura kasi sa memory ko. Tapos ngayon, nung napapanood ko na, yung shock bugi talaga yung buong sistema ko na, nangyari pala to. Tapos may nakadikit, katulad nangyayari kay Migs, may nakadikit na memories eh. So sumasabay siya, tumatakbo siya. Habang napapanood mo yung pelikula, tumatakbo din yung memory mo na pang personal. At the same time, nakikita mo yung binuo yung ginawa niya. Totoo yung sinabi ni Elore. Ang bigat pala ng pelikula. Yun, ang bigat pala ng pelikula after having watched it the first time. So, ang bigat pala niya. Pero ang saya kasi namin nung ginagawa hindi mo siya talaga mararamdaman na walang clue na ganito siya. Pero, after the screening in Toronto, may isang naiwan talaga ng pakiramdam sa akin na ayokong bitawan. May kakampi pala ako. Ayun yung mga kakampi ko, nakabuo kami ng ganyang pelikula. So all the more nakaka-encourage at saka nakaka-remind na tapangan pa natin, hindi tayo pwede magpasiil kasi wala tayo mag-aalaga sa isa't isa diba? Bilang lipunan, bilang kultura. So, personally, this film is a good reminder of that.
Nice. Ay, ganda na mga dialogue ni Miss Sue, no? Direct, curious ako dun sa yung tanong ni Jerry kayo na kasi sabi mo, you made, nagre-edit ka ba? You made a different cut for the Philippine audience. So, mas shocking yung sa international or paano?
Yeah, basically, yes, it's a different cut. There are some lines or some scenes. Well, basically, these are the scenes naman talaga. Pero may mga shots na wala dun sa director's cut na kailangan kong ipasok dito. Because I needed to remove or trim some of the scenes and I didn't want to compromise the integrity of the film. So, salamat sa mga editors ko, kay Christian. Si Christian. Si Christian. Siyang responsible sa edit itong Philippine version. and it's a really good edit. It's a different movie in a way. But it's not like it's a compromise. Pero it would be really interesting for you guys to also be able to take a look at the...
Nakaka-curious tuloy lalo kasi different movie yung kinalabasan. Pero, so, ang daming... It's safe to say na ang daming talaga na-edit from the original.
Ako bilang director, feeling ko ang dami. Kasi it took me a while na tanggapin. Pinabayaan ko muna silang i-edit na... Nasa isang sulok muna ako. Galit-galitan. Galit sa sarili. Galit
Sumamaan loob mo.
Wala kang gustong kausapin. And then nung pinanood ko, okay naman pala. Dahil ko lang arte.
Hindi nyo kailangan mag-reshoot, no?
Hindi.
Sa editing na lang talaga.
Editing.
Oo. First time mo ba direct na ma-ex ang film mo? At yung nangyaring ganito?
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
Dapat pala lalo akong magalit. Yeah, first time.
Wow.
First time kong na-experience. Ganun pala.
This is the first. Kasi ito yung pinakamatapang mong pelikula so far, no? Obviously.
I don't know. I mean, kasi masyado tayong, when it comes to sex, we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to confront it. But it's so part of our lives. It's how we use power sometimes, diba? Using sex.
Sex is power.
So para sa akin, parang, ewan ko, maybe we're just liberated people. Para sa ano ba yung big deal doon? We're just telling a story. We're just really telling a story. But, you know, if they had a problem with that, ikikwento pa rin namin without compromising our voice and our integrity.
Oo, support ka namin. Tapos natuwa lang kami, nagbalik alaala namin, Jerry, yung ito Mama Tambien memories doon sa mga threesome scenes ng dalawang boys and di ba, Elora. Ano yun? Conscious ba yung yun na ginawa mo? Direct parang homage ba yun? Or naisip mo lang na dapat talaga may ganun silang eksena? At kamusta si Kokoy at si Miggy dun sa mga ganung scenes?
Well, panood kay Ito Mama is one of my favorite movies. Pero hindi naman talaga siya homage. It's just the natural flow of narrative dun sa ginagawa naming kwento. And you know, for everybody to feel safe, naka-storyboard naman yung mga love scenes, yung mga sex scenes, naka-storyboard yun. So parang, you know, dumadating nga sa point ng boring. Boring na kasi, you know, as much as possible ayokong nag-storyboard kasi I want to have that moment of discovering something while shooting kapag naka-storyboard masyado ng plakado. Pero ito, I wanted everybody to feel safe. So naka-storyboard, minsan papakita ko pa yung picture sa kanila, ito yung position. Ito yung gagawin natin. So, para lang sure, para everybody feels safe. Sa kanilang lahat, wala akong problema. Kasi siguro nagkaroon kami ng discussion. And even before we shot the film, pumunta na rin kami sa location. Nag-rehearse kami na basically kinukunan ko ng iPhone yung mga eksena. So, nagawa na rin actually namin yung mga eksenang kailangan namin gawin dun sa lugar na yun. So, by the time na pumunta kami, alam na namin yung gagalawan namin. I mean, meron kaming chemistry as a group, pero pag gumagalaw kasi sa isang bagong lugar, medyo nanganganay ka, pero hindi na kami nanganay kasi na-rehearse na namin. They're all very professional, wala akong masabi.
Last na lang for the cast. Kasi nga ang intense ng mga intimate scenes, di ba, Koy? Although nakagawa na si Kokoy ng mga fuckboys, ganyan. Si Miggy nakapag 2-in-1 na din, na grabe rin yung mga explicit scenes. Pero, kamusta? Kasi physical talaga, hinahawakan niya yung mga parte ng katawan ng isa't isa, ganyan. Si Miss, di ba? Si Miss Sue talagang walang keber sa mga ganong eksena. How was it doing it? Koy, Miggy, yung kayong apat.
Katulad mo na sinabi ko, walang pag-aalangan kasi lalo na si Ate Sue, tsaka si Elora, parang kinailangan sa eksena at talagang masasabi mo na trabaho lang din talaga at kinailangan gawin ng karakter namin. Kaya nagtiwala din sila siguro sa akin. I mean, wala siguro. Nagtiwala sila sa akin, nagtiwala lang din.
Hindi ka din sure.
Hindi pa wala talagang hindi man lang na-conscious. Siguro, mas iniisip ko pa siguro yung paano ko tatanggalin yung plaster. Siguro, kasi masakit talaga. Mas doon pa rin ako.
Nag-plaster ka rin ba?
Ayoko nga pumunta dun. Pero anyway, siguro malaking bagay yung may consent kasi kami. So, I mean, bukod sa mga task na kailangan namin gawin yung mga objective namin sa eksena, we always ask kung okay lang ba nahawakan ka dito, like okay lang ba, which is very important. Especially like para maging comfortable din kami sa isa't isa, and respect pa rin yung mangingibabaw at the end of the day. Kwento ko talaga.
Ano yun?
Hindi ka naman bihis.
Sige, ready na? Okay. So for me naman, same din sa kanila. I think malaking bagay din yung merong decency guard or yun nga, plaster, para kahit gumalaw-galaw man ako, hindi sila makangamoy kepyas. So yun.
Sabi sa inyo, masaya po yung naging shoot namin eh. Talaga, seryoso, kahit yung sensitive scenes, walang mabigat for us eh. Siguro, one is, klaro yung communication ng lahat sa isa't isa, especially coming from the director, tas amongst us actors. So, walang pag-aalinlangan. Tapos kung may doubt, pwede magsalita eh. Ayun eh, na-establish kasi na safe space siya eh. Unang-una. Mulat sa pool, meeting pa lang, no? Yung pag-uusap pa lang sa script, dun pa lang na-establish na kasi yun eh, na safe space. Itong project na to, safe space yung isa't isa. And I think tama lahat na sinabi nila, I really do agree with them. But I think isa sa mga pinakamahalaga doon, klaro sa amin kasi kung how much we value our relationship with each other. More than being mga manggagawa sa pelikula. Siguro nandun na kasi yung antas nung relasyon namin sa isa't isa. Kaya, ayun, andali. Nung napanood nga namin, saka lang namin na-realize, ang hirap at saka ang bigat pa rin nung ginawa natin. Pero it never felt like that kasi while we were doing it. Thankfully.
Thank you.
Congratulations direct for this masterpiece ulit. Okay, si girlfriend, so ikaw muna. Hi girlfriend. Congratulations sa iyong performance dito. Kasi natanong na din naman ni Alan D yung mga tungkol sa steamy scenes ninyo. So tatanong ko na lang, ano ba yung understanding nyo sa lahat ng cast ng, ano ba yung understanding nyo sa mga characters nyo? Like, si Ma'am Sarah, paano niya namamanipulate yung dalawa na talagang gusto siya ng dalawa, you know? Hindi naman siya sweet, hindi naman siya pa-sexy. Paano siya? Ano yung understanding mo of your character? Also si Alora and the boys, pakwento lang yung all about your characters and how you understand it in your own words.
Okay. Ang swerte ko kasi yung director ko and writers of this material, again, communication pa rin eh. Doon talaga nag-uumpisa yun. Kasi mulat sa pool, pinag-uusapan namin ni June, ni Elmer, especially kami ni June, hindi na lang kasi director ko siya, na aktor na ako eh. Mas siya eh, pinag-uusapan namin siya bilang diskurso na yun. Ganun na yung direction. So, I can say na swerte ako doon kasi napag-usapan namin siya na objectively. Kumbaga napapag-usapan namin siya si Sarah bilang representasyon ng isang social issue natin dito sa Pilipinas, ganyan. And we had to siguro para mas ma-define siya at saka para mas madali siyang pag-usapan, kailangan mag-research. So may mga particular characters kami sa ibang pelikula at saka ibang real life stories na, as in news bits siya, na pwedeng, in terms of psychology ng character, pwede siyang,
lalim pala.
Oo, actually yun talaga, kung paano namin trinabaho yung character. Tapos kung paano siya, halimbawa, after having read the script for, I think that was the third reading ko, may tinanong ako sa kanya kung pwedeng ganito ko gawin, ganito yung gawin kong approach doon sa character. Like, I split the whole story into 5 chapters.
Wow. Okay.
Tapos, we discussed it. Pumayag siya. So ganun namin siya ginawa. As in, talagang all the way, magkasama kami from beginning till the end. Ganun yung naging proseso. And then, nandun kasama sa pag-uusap yung dun sa proseso namin, creative process namin yung si Sarah ba ay itong personahe na to? O ito bang nire-represent niya ba ay itong psychology na to? So, may ganun kami pagtitimbang.
So, what's she like? I mean, paano, yun lang, yung parang ano siya, sino siya?
Okay.
Yes.
Si Sarah actually, ang definition niya is her own opacity. Which is very real and you know, sa araw-araw na buhay natin. Kaya ang gulo ng mundo natin in different levels because of the opacity, the deceit. History pa lang natin na binabago. Yun na yun eh, di ba? It's already a deceit, di ba? At saka it's already pagtatraidor sa nationhood natin, di ba? So si Sarah din yun, di ba? Maaaring, kaya yung sinasabi ko eh, maaaring tao siya, maaaring psychology siya. She's a personification of those. And you are free to see her how you see her fit. Diba? Kasi kanya-kanya naman tayo ng karanasan in terms of socio-political instances, circumstances, diba? Pero lahat tayo may eksperyensya. Diba? So, may nasa sa inyo din kung paano nyo ma-relate yan.
Thank you. So, ay, talbogan mo yun, Ami.
Opacity.
Opacity.
For me naman, si Ami, kung ano yung opacity at deceit ni Ate Sara, yun naman yung pagiging transparent ni Ami. Kasi si Ami, gusto niya ng pagmamahal talaga. And she's really open and ba't ako naiapektuhan? Wait, pero yun nga, inaano niya talaga na, kunyari kay Eman, gusto kita, bakit hindi mo ako magustuhan? So, she's really looking for love and trying to get that love that she wants. So, yun, fight for that love. So, yun.
Thank you.
Excuse ko lang si Elora dahil si Elora tatakbo daw ng CR.
Next po.
Si Miggy, sasagot kayo dahil CR.
Well, si Oliver is a young kid, no? Na wala rin gumagabay din. And I feel like wala rin sa posisyon si Oliver na isipin kung kailangan ba may gumabay sa kanya kasi sarado yung utak niya kung ano yung gusto niyang gawin. At the same time, makikinig lang siya sa mga nakakataas sa kanya. So, basically, yeah, that's Oliver.
Okay. Ito na, si Eman.
Si Eman, opacity, transparent, jealousy. Baka lang. May masabi lang. Ito si Eman, para sa akin, isa siyang paano ko ba masasabi? Karamihan kasi sa atin ganun wala siyang pakialam kahit na tama ba o mali yung gusto niya. Basta, yung tama ba o mali yung ginagawa niya, basta gusto niya yung ginagawa niya. At mahalaga sa kanya si Sarah. At umabot sa point na talagang may mga bagay na aning siya kasi nga may mga bagay din nagagawa siya na mali. Kasi nga nababaliw na rin siya sa sitwasyon na alam niyang maaaring maulit-ulit kung ano yung pinagsimulan nila ni Sarah. So may pagka-praning din siya. Pero normal lang naman siguro yun. Maraming ganong klaseng tao rin sa society ngayon na ganon. Minsan ako ganon din naman, di na sobra.
May phone-in itong kay Kokoy.
Hindi. Sabi ko dun sa eksenang sabog ka, Koy, parang ka talagang sabog. Anong ginawa mo? Anong tinira mo doon?
Katol. Naalala ko yung eksena na sabog ako. Parang paano? Yung sa CR ba yun, Direk? Parang tinanong ko rin, talagang nagtatanong ko yung Direk kung paano ba talaga. At actually, naalala akong isang eksena doon. Lalo na nung nag-aamats ako doon. Nag-aamats. May kinausap akong isa sa art dep. Sabi ko, kasi dami yung side comment habang nagagawa. Hindi ko, ganito kasi yan tol Tol, paano ba yung paano yung may amats tol? Hindi sa atin lang to paano ba yun? Kasi nagpaturo ko sa kanya, feeling ko naman na isabuhay ko dun sa Excel. Mukha namang siya, tumagos naman po sa inyo. Kaya maraming salamat din sa kanya.
Maraming salamat daw sa paglaglag.
Hindi naman name drop.
Start there.
Wala sa yung watchlist.
Thank you, Koy. Direk, lang, tanong ko lang kasi kung happy anniversary, 10th anniversary pala sa Idea First.
Thank you.
Tapos anong goal ng paggawa ng film festival. Tapos yun, anong gusto nyong i-highlight doon? At yun, bakit nyo na-desisyonan na mag-mount ng film festival?
Siguro first and foremost, we just wanted to celebrate, making movies, series, yung content production. It's up to now, it's still a gig industry. Para sa mga artista, para sa isang director, it's a gig. So for you to be able to spend 10 years doing this, na tumagal ka sa industriyang to ng 10 years, I think it's a cause for celebration. So that's one of the reasons, and then parang it's also a reminder for us not to lose why we're doing this, not to lose that goal and that reason. Yes, yung box office is important. We're doing this for our family and all, but from the name itself, idea first. So we want to hold this festival also to remind ourselves that the reason why we're doing this is because we want to tell stories that matter to us. We want to shine light on stories that would otherwise be kept in the dark, like a story like this. So yun yung isa sa malaking reason, and also it's a way of giving back. Kasi that's hindi lang siya basta screening, kundi may Q&A, because we want to be able to talk to the audience. We want, whether you're a student, if you're interested in film, we will be there. The filmmakers will be there to share our thoughts, to help encourage other storytellers na wag matakot, magkwento lang. So nilaan namin yung oras namin doon, and then there's also the workshop, there's the panel with the writers, and isa siyang event. Ang next nito, pa-theme park na to. Pa-theme park na eh. Festival lang, di ba dapat screening na? Hindi, ang daming activity. Papunta na tong theme park, kulang na lang mag-mascot. Dapat may mascot tayo.
Dinahanda na namin.
Ayaw mo direct, ayaw mo. Percy, ikaw, meron kang i-add. Direct Percy, meron kang i-add.
Yeah, magiging bombilya ako. No, exactly what Jun said. It's a celebration of hindi kami makapaniwala na 10 taon na. Hindi kami makapaniwala na 35 films na. And also, pinost ko rin naman to, we're very thankful. Kasi hindi naman namin magagawa to. Hindi nagtiwala rin yung ibang partner producers namin. The studios that we produced for, nung simula, later became our co-producers. At natutuwa kami that nagtiwala sila doing material na hindi nila normally gagawin. At that's what we realized, diba, looking back, that this is what we stand for pala. Yung parang hindi tayo dapat mawala dito. Kasi everybody can tell stories, diba? And everybody will tell stories their own way. This is how we do things, diba? These are the stories we want to tell. This is the way we will tell our stories. And parang, especially now, na ang dami nang gumagawa ng pelikula, ang dami nang nagkakwento. Tama yun, okay yun. Everybody should be encouraged. Pero you should also be encouraged na gawin mo your own way. Kasi kami, I guess, yung 10 years na yan is proof na, kaya naman pala na makahanap ng tagumpay na being yourself.
Doing it your way.
Thank you.
Yes.
Of the many scenes na ginawa nyo sa movie at napalabas ngayon, saan kayo pinaka naging emotionally vulnerable? At parang feeling nyo, uy, nagawa ko pala yun ng ganong kaayos, ganong kahusay. Miss Sue. Sarah, ano yung pinaka-eksena na feeling mo sobra ka naging emotionally vulnerable?
Actually, there are two.
Okay, please share it with us.
Kasi pinakita yung extreme end of the spectrum ni Sarah. Tapos hindi, ang hirap niyang malaman kung totoo ba o hindi. Nung pinanood ko rin, sinungaling to eh. Alam mo yun, may ganun eh. Tapos actually, yung una ay yung unang scene ay yung sinabi niya na alam kong hindi mo ako mahal araw-araw, pero sa mga araw na hindi mo ako mahal, sana respetuhin mo naman ako. That's one. Pangalawa, yung ending ng long take namin, yung baragan nitong dalawa. Naitulak mo pa ako dun, Mixin. Yung dulo nun. Yung dulo nun. Yung after nung hinalikan ko silang dalawa, yung shot na yon na na nakatingin si Sarah. Kasi pakiramdam ko kahit nung ginagawa namin yun, nawala din ako. Alam mo yung nawala ako dun. Nung nag-cut, it took a while para makabalik ako.
Okay. Thank you. Elora, ano yung tanda mo, eksenang feeling mo talaga naging emotionally vulnerable ka?
I think all throughout naman naging emotionally vulnerable. But I think siguro yung pinaka nakita na naging vulnerable si Amy is the labada scene.
Okay.
Na away with Eman.
With Eman.
So yun.
Right. Mickey?
Yung opacity?
Wow, siguro yung confrontation scene, tsaka yung gitara, sige. Happy? Hirap pa siya yung gitara.
Why the confrontation scene, Mickey?
Well, the confrontation scene kasi it's the day one.
Oh.
Day one ng shoot namin siya kinunan. Very nangangapa pa kami. Yung first day jitters ng kapaan ng characters. We haven't really fully grasped. But it was an experience. Like, so, ano siya it's malaking learning curve yun. So, nagamit ko na ulit. Pero, yeah, ano siya, super sarap sa feeling kasi yung fulfillment lang nga kasi yun din yung tinry namin i-rehearse nung pumunta rin kami before we actually shot it. So, one long take siya, so maraming blockings and ang daming what do you call that? Ang daming points na kailangan mong alalahanin talaga, mga i-hit mo yung markers mo. Ang dami, very, ano siya, what do you call that in term?
Stimulating.
Parang information overload siya. Okay. Pero at the same time, it's so fun to do.
Yeah. Koy, ano yung mga eksena mo na talagang feeling mo lagi emotionally vulnerable ka?
Isa rin yun talaga, yung one long take na yun.
Yung confrontation.
Oo. Pero every time na may mga mag-isa ako siguro na scenes, parang bigat-bigat lang na parang nafe-feel ko minsan parang kailangan ko ba bumitaw minsan kaagad kasi parang masyado ko siya atang nadarama na ganun yung nararamdaman ko. Na kailangan ko pa minsan pagpag. Oo. Na buti na lang kasama ko sa kwarto ng lagi itong si Miggy. So ngayon, parang napapasok naman ulit sa sarili ko na ako nga pala to. Kasi ang hirap lang ng ganun dinadala minsan na ang bigat-bigat tapos wala kang eksena. Buti na lang din si Direk June lagi nakaalalay din na kumbaga hindi naman namin siya kinukunan ng sunod-sunod din. So medyo nakakalito rin minsan. So every time na ayan, saya, tapos biglang ba? Parang ako minsan naapektuhan na ako. Parang baliw na ako.
For June, aside from, ang dating kasi sa akin ng movie is that aside from the power struggles of all the characters, it also talk about that too much love can kill you.
Yes, yeah, totoo.
Too much love can kill you. Too much subservience can make you ignorant. And being silent and just following the flow has disastrous effects. Ito ba talaga yung mga lessons na gusto mong i-take home namin? O may mas lighter kang gustong idagdag?
Actually, mas light doon. Hindi. Those are actually some of the themes na napag-usapan namin. That part talaga siya ng discussion. It wasn't an easy movie to make. I mean, there were times I felt alone. Really, I felt alone kasi on one hand, you have to make sure that the set is light enough para relax yung mood. But at the same time, you're trying to capture a certain vibe, tone to the movie. Na minsan it's so internal if you're directing, and sometimes you do feel alone, and then nagsisipin yung mga insecurities. Ang dami, wala na siya atang pinaka-insecure na tao sa mundo kundi director eh. But I just really yung pa rin kung ano yung goal namin sa idea first. Yung pa rin yung lagi kong pinakahawakan. Why am I telling this story? And lagi kong binabalikan yon. And yun lang. binabalikan ko lang yung paninindigan na yun. Kung ano yung rason kung bakit ko ginagawa yung kwento, and that's been the guiding light. Be the light. Yun yung guiding light namin lahat. Yun yung nakatulong. But yes, lahat ramdam ko yung I remember yung ginawa namin yung confrontation, one long take kasi yun eh. So maraming muntik na disgrasya na mangyari. Pako, yung tatamaan, yung altar na ang dami, ang tagal, parang ilang, and then minsan nandun na sila. Bigay na, and then ramdam na raw na isa. And then may konting mali lang, kailangang ulitin. And then nanghihinayang ako, papaulit ko ba sa kanila? Baka kaya na itong magawa ng paraan. Pero hindi, kailangang ulitin. So by the end of it, ang daming takes ito. They were so drained, I remember. Nilipitan ko yata si Kokoy para sabihin kung ano yung next scene. Pag hawak kay Kokoy, muntik na siyang matumba. Nanghihina siya. And then na-realize ko, isipin mo yung artista mo. Kasi iniisip ko, maubusan na kami ng liwanag, di ba? Pero muntik na siyang matumba kasi yung pagod eh. Nandun talaga. It was so consuming. So, yun.
Thank you. For the characters, based ba ito sa true story? Or like, malis na patayan, pero yung characters nila, based ba ito sa true story? Or saan galing inspiration po?
Nangyari siya sa akin. Joke. Lahat na lang nangyari sa akin. Lahat na lang.
Ma'am Sarah!
Kami ni Elmer, yung co-writer ko, we go way back. As in, first year college pa lang nagsusulat na kami. Marami kaming mga kwentong nabubuo. And I think, yung pinaka-germ nito, nandun na, nung college students pa lang kami, nandun na, lagi namin binabalikan yung setup na yan. Lagi namin binabalikan. And I think, it was just during the pandemic na nabuo namin. Because of everything that was happening, doon talaga namin siya nabuo. And kaya mabilis namin siyang nabuo eh. Because we've been actually wanting to do something like this. And can you imagine, we're talking about, we were first year college nung year yun. And that's how we saw what was happening around us. And it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed up to now. Yung pa rin yung tingin namin, yung gusto namin ikwento nung nasa college kami, na first year college kami, ito pa rin yung kwento natin hanggang ngayon. Parang yung tingin ko sa Barber's Tales na sana dumating yung point na maging hindi na siya applicable sa atin. And yet, we made that film how many years ago? Pag pinanood mo ngayon, yun pa rin tayo.
And then, direct sana yung location? And gaano yung katagal ito sinubo? Sobrang deep lugar.
Ilang araw ba?
6 steps.
7?
6 or 7.
6 or 7 days yata.
And then yung location, saan yung
Sa Buso.
Rizal, di ba Rizal?
Antipolo.
Antipolo ba yun?
Merong ano lang,
Hindi Rizal.
yung sinabi mo sa
Pinuntahan ko yun.
about the history of our complicated relationship with our abusers. May pa-statement yan. May statement.
Hindi, when I was asked, tinanong kasi sa akin, why are we telling this kind of story? And where did it come from? This basic question. And at the end of the day, I think I said that, it mirrors yung very complicated history with our abusers, and it started, many years ago, hundreds of years ago. We're talking about our very complicated relationship with the colonizers. Ang abusers natin eventually are the people that we look up to, are the people that we want to please, iba. And after Spain, with the US. And even with the leaders that we voted into power, leaders that we know are abusers, we know they have a history of corruption, we know are womanizers and all. We elect them into power, and at the same time, they're the people that we want to please. I don't know, nachacharm ba tayo, whatever, and that's how I see this family. That's how I see Sarah. The Filipino family, the moment that we allow the people that we look up to, the institutions that we look up to, the moment that we allow corruption around us to happen, it will happen to us. It will happen to our family. Papasok siya sa pamilya natin. And dadating yung point na magiging amoral tayong lahat. Yung right or wrong doesn't matter anymore.
Original title.
Direk, malaking factor ba yun na syempre yung mga actors mo bukod sa talagang magagaling na mga artista yung walang kaarte-arte sa katawan na parang Gina G sa mga eksena?
Malaking bagay yon, but more than that, I think kasi pwede namang walang kaarte-arte pero walang talent. Yung handa lang maghubad pero anong gagawin ko sa paghuhubad kung wala akong nararamdaman, di ba? And these are brilliant actors. Yes, no question about it. Yung maikikwento ko lang to kasi makakapasok ako sa mundong yun kasi committed yung mga artista mo. Pag pinanood mo sila, hindi na sila artista, they become the characters. So yun yung pinaka-importante. They're gifted performers. No question about it. Yun yung una eh. Kung gifted performer ka, i-convince kitang sigurong pwede ka bang maghubad for the story. Pero kung naghuhubad ka, yun lang, hindi kita i-convince na maging part ng ito. Wala akong pakailan sa paghuhubad mo.
Pero do you remember one instance sa set na you have to convince one of them or yung actors na gawin ito?
Wala naman. Wala talaga.
Pinipigilan. Tama na.
Sumobra na ba?
Wala. Sobrang silang, lahat sila sobrang committed talaga.
Okay, thank you, Derek. Kay Miggy.
Yes, bro.
Miggy kasi syempre, bukod sa pinakita mong husay sa pelikula, isa sa mga sigurado mo pag-uusapan yung liit are, di ba? Somehow nag-iisip ka ba or nagwo-worry ka na pag lumabas at napanood to, syempre alam mo naman sa social media ngayon at yung mga tao, di ba, na maging mapaglaruan o mai-connect talaga sa'yo, maitag sa'yo yung gano'n.
Well, I think I don't have to worry about that because that's a character. So, bahala sila kung ano yung gusto nila isipin. I mean...
Wow, confident.
Alam ko naman.
Confident sa sign.
Ano kanya yung gift ko na kay Coco yun? Malaki burat niya.
Ayun. Dahil sinabi mo na kay Kokoy, it comes with pride ba na sinabi sa movie na ikaw ay may malaking pag-aari?
Actually, parang kailangan kong panindigan eh.
Pressure.
Sabi nga, gaya na sinabi ni Miggy, karakter yun eh. So, okay na, tropa pa rin tayo.
Okay, thank you. And syempre kay Sue. Sue being kumbaga, sabihin na natin, kasi ikaw na yung most veteran sa kanila, di ba?
Tuwa ba yun?
Oo, it comes with di ba? At saka, kumbaga, ilang beses ka na rin naging jury ng mga international film festivals. Ano yung nakakabilib sa bawat isa sa kanilang co-stars mo? Unahin natin si Kokoy.
There's one word na para sa kanila lahat. Commitment. Yun talaga. Kasi nag-umpisa kami na yun na klaro na sa amin. At saka we were able to make each other feel yun eh. Yung commitment na yun. Doon sa storya, commitment namin sa director, commitment namin sa isa't isa. Yun. But I think the most important thing about it, para sa kanilang lahat din na naparamdam nila sa akin, yung feeling of being safe. Yun. Kasi ewan ko kung maaari bang nagawa ko tong pelikula na to nung wala yung ganung pakiramdam. Yun. So, to all of them, kasi needless to say, after having seen the film, mahusay talaga silang tatlo eh. Diba? Swerte ako.
Yes.
Kasi piruin mo, walang tapon. Alam mo yung hindi ka mangangawit kasi may kailangan ka bitbitin. O kaya yung mamumroblema kasi nararamdaman mo hindi balance eh. Kasi as an actor, part of training also, yung histrionic sensitivity nga, yung sensitivity nyo sa isa't isa, pag naramdaman mo may naiiwan o may kailangan ng tulong, hindi mo dapat siya pabayaan. Kaya siguro ang dali din nung shoot natin kasi walang ngawit, hindi kami nangalay sa isa't isa. Kasi yung commitment namin doon sa dapat namin gawin dito sa pelikula na to, we did our tasks solidly, individually. At yun nga, in unison. Kaya ayun siya, ito na yung pelikula na.
Oo, ang ganda ng kinalabasan. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat po talaga. I really appreciate your presence. Your gift of presence here is really valued. Maraming salamat sa pagpunta. Maraming salamat sa pag-appreciate sa pelikula namin at sa tulong na ibibigay ninyo para ikalat na may ganitong pelikula at sana silipin ng mga kaibigan natin, mga manonood.
Thank you. And please don't forget, April 12 to 14, ang Enlightened, the Idea First Film Festival, of which Your Mother's Son is the opening film. So can I ask everybody to please stand up?
Ikaw nag-joke. Oo. Nag-joke.